Okay, boys and girls, this is our last chapter for the week, chapter 10. And on this chapter for today, when we get to the end of the chapter, you will be doing an oral reading um, grade. So when I stop at the end of chapter 10, you will need to have your mom or dad either record you reading the rest of the chapter and send that to your teacher in a recording, kind of like you've done with the Bible verse or um, other things that you've had to do. Or some of your teachers might have available on Hangouts that you can go on there and read it to your teacher on Hangouts. So I'll start with chapter 10. Ma and Dog. Ma doesn't like to leave a chore before it's done, never has. But she left her wet laundry by the line and came on the run. Take her inside, Jamie. She's dirty, Ma, and bleeding. In the house, Jamie. Put her on the table and draw a basin of water. Willie B., get my basket of rags by the hearth. I filled a basin and set it on the seat of Pa's chair. Willie B. dropped the rags into the water. Ma pulled them back out one at a time and cleaned Dog's wound. I knew how Ma's hands felt when she set to work on an injury, and relief washed over me. Finally, Dog's leg was clean, and Ma wound a length of dry cloth around it. When she finished, Ma nodded to us, and we lifted Dog down off the table and onto a clean blanket in the wash tub. We set the tub by the stove so Dog's fur could dry. Thank you, boys. Now you'd better go and take care of those rabbits. The rabbits still hung heavily from our belts, so we went out to our chopping block to skin them out. When we were done, Willie B. rolled up the day's pelts and lifted the bundle. Can I go back in and tell her goodbye? I nodded and followed him to Ma's kitchen. When Willie B. had finally gone, Ma put her arms around me and held me tight. I let her. My pa just said softly, "Things that hurt, teach." Now, I want you to think about that sentence, boys and girls. You know how sometimes we have to have a punishment and it kind of maybe hurts our feelings or makes us sad? Those things are meant to teach us lessons. And sometimes the things that happen, like what's happening to these boys, is hurting them inside. They're sad about Dog. And Dad is saying that the things that hurt inside of us often are the things that teach us the best lessons. I sure had learned plenty in these past few weeks. Finally, I had a fire in my belly to keep my vow. Ma kept Dog right by her stove and babied her like she did the new calves. The puppy stayed at Willie B.'s and seemed to do all right without Dog. But Willie B. came around every chance he got, and Dog always washed his face with her shiny pink tongue. When Dog had been with us a week, I heard Ma talking to her as I came downstairs. I stopped to listen. Well, Missy, seeing your white fur up against my stove sure shows how much it needs to be blacked. I either need to work on that stove or get you out of here. That means her stove needed to be cleaned so it could be shiny and black again. You would have thought Dog could really understand. She yelped and pranced on her 3 good legs. She nipped at the hem of Ma's skirt. The stair tread I was standing on creaked, and Mom looked up. Ma, I'll black the stove for you for a quarter. Ma laughed. Oh, it's not so bad that I'd pay to get it done, but I do think it's time for Dog to go home. Hitch up the road cart, Jamie. Ma held Traveler to a trot and delivered Dog home in fine style. We tied up at the rail fence. Dog whined and limped in a circle in the floor of the cart, but she didn't try to jump down. Willie B. had heard us coming, and he flew out of the house. He lifted Dog out of the cart. In the next moment, Willie B. was flat on his back with his arms around Dog, while the black pup jumped and danced on top of the noisy heap. Willie B.'s ma had come out to the yard. How's our little patient doing? I'd say she's on the mend, Ma laughed. Then why don't you come in and celebrate? Well, I guess I can for a short bit. There's plenty to do yet today, and it'll keep for a while. Willie B. and I stayed in the yard and played with the 2 dogs until Dog moved off under the cart and dropped to the dirt. She's done in, Willie B. Let's get her to the barn. The smells of the hay and warm livestock were just right. I hollowed out a place for Dog, and Willie B. set her gently in it. The black pup tumbled in after Dog and cuddled up beside her, and soon both were dozing. So starting with the next sentence, where's the other pup? That's where you're going to start reading your oral reading. So you're going to read to the end of this chapter, recorded for your teacher, and then just send that to your teacher, or like I said, you might be able to meet her in Hangouts. All right, see you guys.